are you?
I'm Rachel. I'm the manager here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Take a seat.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for someone else.
All right.
Oh, sorry I'm late.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Hey,
Hi.
I'm Michelle.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so first, I'm just going to give you each an opportunity to introduce yourself and tell me why you'd like to work at General Hospital. Josh, would you like to start?
Sure. So my name is Josh. I'm a recent graduate from Palomar College, and I wanted to work here at the General Hospital Urgent Care because I wanted to transition into community health. And I looked on the website. I was kind of looking up your hospital, and I liked your mission statement, which was to provide quality, affordable health care to your members in the community that you serve. And I feel that it's important to have for everyone to have a means to take care of their health individually, and healthy individuals make strong, healthy communities. I also saw that you guys have a mobile outreach to the homeless, which I would like to be involved in. And I saw that you were building a new hospital in 2017, so I was excited about that opportunity as well.
Great, thank you.
Well, I've kind of been working for the last 6 months. I'm a new grad, so I've been working the last 6 months in skilled nursing. And oh my gosh, have you ever worked skilled nursing? Oh, I don't suggest it. It's such a toxic environment. We have a new charge nurse there. She really likes to micromanage things, so I really want to get out of there. I don't like it there.
Okay. Can you give me an example, Josh, of how you incorporate evidence-based practice to your patient care?
Oh, yes. So bedside manner is really important to me. And so while I was in nursing school, I kind of did some research on, it's called Healing Touch.
Oh, okay.
And I took a certification over the summertime of our break, and Healing Touch was something that it's an accredited certification, and I was able to incorporate that during our oncology rotation with my cancer patients when they were getting chemotherapy. So I would ask them kind of on a scale of 1 to 10 what their anxiety level was, and then after I incorporated some of the Healing Touch modalities, I was able to ask them again, and a lot of times they would say that it went down from a 10 to a 2.
Wonderful. And Michelle, how would you incorporate evidence-based practice?
Well, evidence-based practice to me is pretty much so following what is listed as interventions when it comes to your NANDAs, because that's been tried and true. That's kind of why they give it to us in our ACLY book is, get your evidence-based practice from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, can you give me an example of how you've worked on a team project and what was your preferred role and why?
Okay, yeah, so when it comes to teamwork, I generally prefer a supportive role versus kind of like being the person in charge. And in the supportive role, what I do is I like to try to find out kind of with the team I'm working with what everyone's talents are and try to leverage what each person is good at. So an example was in my last job, I ran the internship program, and we had a student spend 12 weeks with us. And so what I did was I created rotations where the students spent some time with each of the 4 members of our staff. And that way the student was able to be exposed to different styles, as well as not overloading any one particular staff member with the burden of having somebody for the whole 12 weeks. And the feedback from the student was great. The college reached out to us and said that he had a really great experience, and it ended up being a good experience for everybody.
Okay. And Michelle?
Well, when I work in teams, I tend to like to be independent. I don't work as well with a group of people. So, but when I do work with a group of people, I like to be in charge. And like Josh, I like to help people know what it is they need to do. I find that, nobody wants to be the leader, and so why not let me be the leader? And I'm really good at that, and I think my viewpoints are really good, and I feel like the team members, they're allowed to have their opinions, but ultimately I'm the leader, so what I say goes.
Okay. And Josh, how do you handle conflicts between team members?
Okay, so when it comes to conflicts between team members, I try not to take things personal. I try to really focus on the group goal. So I had a project in the past where we were doing a fundraiser it was at my last job, and we were doing a fundraiser for the Challenge Athletes Foundation. And there were a couple times where we had, one team member in particular got kind of really irate, and the way that I kind of handled that was, I try to, I don't take things personal, and I try to keep my own emotions in check. And if somebody is having kind of a big issue, I just keep asking questions to draw out the biggest concern. So with that particular team member, I kept asking him until he was able to articulate what issues he was having with the project, and we were able to get it on the table and talk it through and then move the project forward.
Okay, great. And Michelle, how do you handle conflicts between team members?
Well, I don't handle conflict all that well. I think it's unproductive to be in conflict with your coworkers. So if I have something where somebody doesn't like me or I don't like somebody and we can't work it out, and either they're gonna leave or I am. I'm not gonna stay in that kind of toxic environment. I'll just move on.
Okay. Josh, how do you handle difficult patients?
Difficult patients. So I have had a couple difficult patients, especially during nursing school. And my personality is such that I'm empathetic, and I really try to bring that to my nursing care. And to give you an example, I had a patient that was a heart failure patient. He was very frustrated, and he was extremely rude to me, and he yelled at me actually. And in that moment, what I did was I really tried to put myself in that patient's position. And at that particular time, I just started to talk to that patient, and I said, it must really be frustrating for you to be in the hospital. I can't imagine, what you're going through. And again, it created a connection between the patient and myself, and it opened up some dialogue, and we were able to talk about, what he was feeling. So when it comes to difficult patients, again, I guess my response is to just really try to be empathetic and put myself in their position.
Okay, and Michelle, how do you handle difficult patients?
Difficult patients. Well, I've had patients that are difficult, that are just not happy with the care that I'm giving them, even though I'm totally taking care of them. I find that if they're really not happy people, there's nothing I can do to make them happy, so I just ignore them. I give them the care they need, like I totally give them their meds and make sure that their pain is controlled, but other than that, I don't go in and spend a lot of time with them. I just ignore them.
Okay. Josh, how have you overcome challenges in past positions?
So in past positions, I guess I'll kind of refer back to nursing school. At the beginning of nursing school, in the clinical environment, I felt it was kind of hard for me to stay organized, and that was kind of something that I really had to work on. And so to overcome that particular challenge, what I did going into the clinicals was I created a task list for myself, and it wasn't something that you could always stick to perfectly every day, but I could keep referring back to it so that when things got chaotic, it kind of kept me on track and kept my own thoughts organized, so I was able to kind of accomplish the things that I had set out for each day.
Okay, and Michelle, how do you handle or overcome, challenges in past positions?
Well, I don't really think that I've had too many challenges in past positions, but if I don't like it, like I said, I'll move on. That's really how I would handle it if I had some challenges.
Okay. How do you provide patient-centered care, Josh?
So patient-centered care for me is keeping the patient's backstory and who that patient is in the forefront of my mind while I'm interacting with them. So to give you an example, in my OB rotation, I had a patient who was Muslim, and just knowing a little bit about some of the religious kind of concerns that patient might have had, I just asked her outright. I just said, ma'am, are you okay with having a male nurse as part of the team providing care with you? Just because I wanted to be conscious of her cultural or spiritual concerns. And as it turned out, she was okay with it, but I just say that to give an example of with all my patients, I try to keep in mind what is important to them and what spiritual, cultural, or any other beliefs that they need while getting care, and I always am sure to ask them.
Okay. And Michelle, how do you provide patient-centered care?
Well, I think patient-centered care is really all about making sure that all their interventions are taken care of. That what they need, I check it off on my list as I go along. Did I raise the head of the bed up to 30 degrees? Make sure they can breathe easily. So I try to put all my interventions in place and give them the meds when they need it, and that's what I would do.
Okay. Do you have any questions? I think I'm about done.
Yeah, actually, I did have some questions. So I know that you
Go
are the unit manager
Mm-hmm.
of the position that I'm applying for, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, so what qualities make someone successful in this position that you're hiring for? How do you describe the team environment of your current group that you work with? And what computer documentation system do you guys use?
Okay, so here at General Hospital, it's really important, especially in this outpatient job, that you have really good assessment skills. It's important that you know how to triage. Although this isn't the ER, you never know what kind of patient you're going to get.
So true.
Teamwork is really important here on the floor. We use the Cerner system.
I know how to use that. That's so awesome.
Here at General Hospital, and it works really well. So, in the future, because we really value teamwork, it's important that you help each other, But do you have any other questions? Or?
Just one more. So after this interview, let's see, how and when will we learn of your decision?
Okay, so if the candidate moves forward, you'll get a phone call by Friday.
Okay.
If the candidate does not move forward, then you'll be notified by email.
Okay.
Once if you do receive a call on Friday, then in the second interview, we'll talk about salary and the whole onboarding process.
Okay, great.
So are you guys union here? Because I hear, when you get a union job, that you're set, you get to stay for however long you want to.
We are union, but we could talk about that in the second interview.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
Okay, so if that's it,
All right.
you guys, you mind leaving through the door over there?
Oh,
Okay,
totally.
thank
Okay,
you.
thanks
you.
so much. Nice to meet you.
Okay, bye.
Okay.